Hi there folks, welcome to Us As We Are. I'm Keegan Van Hook. Today we're in Lithia Park, our old familiar stomping ground. It's a Thursday, October 15th, kind of just a random day. Nothing in particular is going on, but we thought we'd just walk around Lithia Park, talk to some people, and just get an idea of what's going on in folks' heads. So come on, let's go see who we can talk to. So why don't you just start by introducing yourself?
My name is Lisa Force and I live here in Ashland.
Right on. And what brings you to Lithia Park today?
Walking with a friend, enjoying the fall weather.
Right on. And what do you think of the start of fall? We've had kind of a challenging year so far, so how does it feel to be at this point in time?
Any change feels good, and fall is so soft and so gentle, and it's the harbinger of new things to come, so I think it's great, especially this year.
So it's been a challenging year. We've had a lot of crisis facing us between the pandemic and the fires. How have you personally coped with those various crises?
I think it's about endurance and hope. I think that this is temporary and things will change. I don't think things will ever go back to the way they used to be or what we considered normal, but things will change, and I think we just endure and get through it and know that we're going to be in a better situation soon.
Right on. And so what do you hope happens for the remainder of 2020?
Wow, 2020, a lot of folks just want it to be over. I don't want to wish my life away. I don't want to wish anyone's life away or time away. So I think it's I think it's a time to really maybe go inside and get strong. Maybe spend some time meditating and thinking about what you want the world to be, and helping it get there. I'm spending time at the animal shelter in little, doing what I can in little ways to help people and creatures. And, if we look at the animals and the creatures in the world, they don't know that anything's happening, and they're living their lives. And in fact, they're probably, some of them are living better lives. The squirrels and the ducks here in the park seem really happy with less people. So no, I think if you look past this barrier, then maybe think about a 9-year plan. In 9 years, whatever administration we have will be done, right? And I think that if we look at the long view, then it's all good. And I am looking forward to hopefully a new city council here in Ashland.
Tell me about that. Who are you voting for the city council this year?
I think Sean Moran is an absolute hero. He's smart and he's young, and he's got his kids and his family in mind, so he does have a long view. And I also think that Julie Akins would be a strong mayor, and Andrew Card would also be a good choice.
So touching on what you said about the 9-year plan, what do you hope the world looks like in 9 years?
It will be a new place, and I hope it will be a place of renewed freedoms. I think folks are concerned about, they're calling it rights, I call it freedoms. I'm hoping someone doesn't force me to put something on my face that I don't want to, or put something in my body that I don't want to. I'm hoping that we have a renewed sense of freedom, and I'm just looking forward to hugging people again. Yeah.
So I guess last question, what kinds of problems do you personally feel are the biggest ones we face today?
I think environmental problems are everything. Everything. Because climate change, you can fix everything else, and if you don't fix climate change, this planet is not going to survive. So I think that environmental is everything, and I think we need to start taking it seriously. It's already, the environment is already destroyed to some point where it can't be totally rehabilitated, but if we can slow down climate change, we have hope. We have a chance.
Do you think that the wildfires are kind of a reflection of that climate change?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people, it's just a lot of people in the urban interface where we didn't used to be. Fires are natural. Fire regime is natural, but fires used to be on the ground. And now that they're in the canopy and they're jumping from place to place, and, the clear cuts, people think that reducing the number of trees is the key, but it's reducing the number of small, little the little trees that cause the fires. The big trees have resin in their bark that resists fire. And so if we could get like the clear cutting under control, that would be a huge benefit to reducing fire.
Right on. Well, anything else you want to talk about that I forgot to ask about?
You asked very thorough questions. You
I tried.
covered quite the gamut. What a nice job you're doing. This is great that you're doing this.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, we love having like the media out doing creative things, because otherwise you're just sitting in your office, right, looking at the internet like everybody else. So great. I'm glad you guys are doing this.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be doing it too. It's one of the best ways to still talk to people.
Yeah.
Your name one more time?
Lisa Force.
Lisa, thanks for talking to us.
You bet. Thanks for doing this.
Sweet. All right, to start, why don't you just introduce yourself?
My name's Rio.
And what brings you to Lithia Park today, Rio?
Just go for a walk. My back was hurting a little bit, like I was just telling my friend here, and I really just wanted to get a little bit of sunlight and enjoy the beautiful fall weather.
Yeah, so it's been a tough year so far, and right now we just kind of started fall. What are your thoughts on the year so far? How have you coped with all the various crises we've faced?
Yeah, it's been kind of odd. Thankfully, Ashland's kind of like a vortex where, I feel like we haven't been hit as hard as other places around the country. And I'm pretty reclusive myself, so the quarantine hasn't like changed too much for me. But I definitely think that it's affected a lot of, definitely at night, like when you can't go out and things like that, it's been kind of strange.
Yeah, not much in the way of nightlife, huh?
No, and it just seems like it's becoming the new norm, and it's interesting to see how we adjust to that and like without even really noticing.
So what kinds of activities have you done throughout quarantine? Like, how do you stay entertained?
I try to stay outdoors. I was exercising a lot during the beginning of it, then I kind of fell off, and now I'm trying to pick up again. And go for hikes. There was the Cougar Springs up by Eugene was open too, and I went there and it was nice.
Right on. So what are your hopes for the rest of 2020?
I hope that, like I'm hoping everybody else is hoping that COVID dies down and that we're just able to roam freely again and, enjoy this beautiful weather, because that's really the biggest thing, is just missing out on some of the most beautiful parts of the year. But you don't have to, you can go out.
And so in the same vein, what are your hopes for 2021?
For 2021, I hope that, I just watched that documentary on Netflix with David Attenborough, and I'm hoping that people will. I mean, Ashland's already a community where people take notice, but I'm hoping more people around the country will start to really consider like their carbon footprint, and it's something that doesn't have to be intensive and analytical. It's just as easy as adapting new habits and becoming more environmentally friendly.
What kinds of things do you do to try and be more environmentally friendly?
Like every product that I buy, whether it's food or a toothbrush, I try to make sure that it's sustainably sourced. I know a lot of it can be wishy-washy, and a lot of big corporations own like smaller companies, but I try to stay locally made stuff, and hit up as many farmers markets as I can, cook, and I just got an electric car, so reducing the carbon footprint too.
What kind of car?
It's a Tesla.
Right on, dude.
Thank you.
Well, anything else I didn't ask about that you want to add?
Just you pretty much covered it all, but I hope everybody has fun and has a great fall transition into winter. And if you want to improve your breathing, look up Wim Hof and start doing some breathing exercises.
Right on. Thanks for talking to us, man.
Thank you.
And your name one more time?
Rio.
Rio, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, how about you both just introduce yourselves and say why you're here in Lithia Park today?
Okay, I'm Jennifer Anderson,
I'm Jeffrey Jacobs.
and we're driving from Los Angeles to Seattle. Just doing a road trip, trying to get out.
Right on. And how are you guys related?
We live together.
So from Los Angeles, so you're just touring through today?
Yeah. Just on our drive up to Seattle.
Right on. So what do you think of Ashland so far?
I love Ashland. I used to have a house in Grants Pass, so yeah, this is beautiful here.
So you're familiar with Lithia Park?
Yeah, I've been here once before. Yeah, it's a beautiful space. We were just comparing it to Griffith Park in Los Angeles, and we just thought, if if we kept up Griffith Park like this park, it would be so fantastic.
Yeah, and now with it starting fall, it's looking very beautiful.
Yeah, all the colors.
That's beautiful.
So on that vein, it's fall now. We've had quite a year so far. Why don't you just share with me some of your thoughts on 2020 and how it's gone with all its various ups and downs?
Yeah, 2020 has been a roller coaster. It just seems like things keep on getting worse, but I'm looking forward to November. I'm hoping to have some new leadership and maybe head in a different direction.
Right on. So what are your hopes for the rest of 2020 then?
Well, I hope Biden becomes president. That's my number one hope. And I hope we all kind of just figure out a way to stay safe and stop spreading the virus and now head in a different direction. We seem to be increasing with the COVID and unemployment, and hopefully we can turn that around.
So yeah, what do you think is like the biggest issue that faces America right now? And under a Biden presidency, how do you think you might see that improved?
Well, there's a lot of race relations problems. So I think Trump is really spurring that on. I think he's got his dog whistles going, and it's just really disheartening that, I see Jewish people lining up with like what do they call them, the Proud Boys? And that's just perplexing to me. Like, all my Jewish male friends seem to be wanting Trump to win. And I thought, with all his racism problems, you think they would be like so against him, but I'm not seeing that. So I'm really disappointed in that. And then, I don't know, I think Biden would, kind of embrace everybody and stop all the hatred and try to help everyone, not just the Republicans or not just the Democrats, but, get Congress to work together again. Those are my hopes.
Maybe just somebody with some feeling and passion and empathy for other people might help bring everybody together.
Yeah.
A normal person, I'm not going to say who's not normal, but just maybe a person who has a heart and some caring and understanding for other people and feelings, and somebody who can bring everybody together. That's typically what a president does, is kind of bring the people together. And we've had none of that for the last 4 years. So maybe some normalcy would be good. Somebody who can carry on a normal conversation and use regular words, and not always the biggest, the greatest, the best, would be better for us, I think.
When you talk about the United States, it's someone who unites the states, because we're states, and then we need the federal government to unite us, but not the divided states. That's not our name.
So yeah, speaking on that division issue, it's something we cover a lot. How do you think it got this divided in the first place? Do you think it's Trump, social media? Where do you think this originates? Because it feels today much more divided than it has seemingly at any other time in the past.
I think it's an age-old tactic of people trying to stay in power to say, those guys are bad, they're going to hurt you, they're socialists. It's a very negative campaign type of tactic. And I think he's just overused it. And then, of course, I think you have CNN repeating the same things over again, Fox repeating the same things over again. I only listen to BBC anymore because I can't take it anymore.
I think it started, well, it's hard to say what caused it, but I think it's a lot of what you say, like social media, false narratives. People are able to post stories and their thoughts on things that may not necessarily be true, and a lot of people in America don't do their research and then looking at a story and just taking it for what it is, rather than, okay, let me look and see, is that true? Let me do some investigating. I think it started maybe back when Obama became president. It seemed like we became more, as things started to become more difficult. Like, I remember back in the day, I'm a little older, where, politics is supposed to be a balance. So one side wants one thing, the other wants another, and somewhere in the middle is where we come together. But when Obama became president, everything, like, we're not passing any bills, we're not doing anything, and it seems to have gotten worse. It's like, you're on this side, I'm on this side. There's no more common ground where we come together and we can agree on something. And what's caused that, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, social media and people pushing different agendas and outside forces putting fake stories. It's very hard to control social media, the internet, and these kind of things. So I think that's been a big part of it.
Well, I think what you said is true too, because like with people just hearing one story and having media platforms and not doing their research, they get a hold of something and they just become enraged by it and they just repeat it, and people just keep on repeating and parroting what they heard and perpetuating the false narrative or the negative platforms that they're using, and it just people get angry and upset, and that's where we're at.
Americans are lazy. They read the headline and go with it. Did you see that story on Facebook? What's the latest one on Biden's son, where they supposedly found a computer with some negative stories about Biden's son on it? Now they're, of course that comes out just before the election to try to, but it's these kind of stories that you see that just pop up and people just run with the headline instead of, really looking at it and seeing if it's something that I can believe, going to a reputable source and, trying to find one or more things that proves it being true or maybe true. So.
So on that issue, what kinds of actions do you think we could take as a society to try and amend some of those issues, whether under a Biden presidency or just in general?
I think in general we have to stop listening to these media stations that just keep on repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Like the two most polarized I can think of is Fox and CNN. I think they're horrible. I think they're just really bad for people's emotions. They don't give you any new news. They just give you like their one narrative and they keep on repeating it all day long, and people get worked up, because
not only do they do that, but they now, instead of news, like I'm aging myself again, but if you go back to the old newscasters, Concrete, those kind of guys, they didn't have an opinion. They read you the news. This is what it is. But CNN and Fox kind of put their opinion on it as well, or they're leaning one way or the other, and it comes across as that rather than just giving you the details of the story. They kind of push their narrative as well.
They put their indignities on top of it, and then the other people listening, they become indignant, and it's just.
We were just two politicians because we didn't answer his question at all. We were just like a way to deflect. And I have no answers for how we move forward and make things better. It just seems like. Everybody's so divided, and I guess that's why I'm not a politician. I don't have the answers. I guess the best thing we can do is all try to be understanding and just love one another and care about your fellow person. Love always cures all, right? I guess that's the only thing that I can come up with. I got no policies to throw out there or ideas as far as that goes.
Well, my kids got off social media. They're 22 and 23. And so they just, they're like, okay, I'm going to disconnect because this is just so much negativity that, I don't want to keep it going. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to hear about it. I'm going to read the facts somewhere. I'm going to get some decent news, and that's all. Just educate myself.
So looking ahead into the next year, 2021, post-election, what do you hope America looks like then?
That's for you. I wasn't going to talk in this interview. I gave way more info than I was planning on doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to not make America great again, because I don't know what point of reference that that was pointing to. I would like to see America where everybody feels loved and considered and healthy. So that's my only hope at this point.
Right on. Anything else you guys want to add that I forgot to ask about?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Love the greenery in Oregon.
Such a beautiful place. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Eva Ichamindia, and I live in Los Gatos, California. And I'm here in Oregon with my friend Aida for like 4 days. It's sort of a short, vacation, like a mini vacation for me. I've been wanting to come here to see the fall colors and to visit waterfalls. And I thought this might be a good time. I teach second grade, so for me, it's been quite the year. It's been a huge learning curve since March, right, when we first started, learning technology, supporting students emotionally and also academically. And this year so far has been quite challenging. It's been very stressful for all teachers. And we're doing what we can, and as long as the kids are healthy, and they're excited every morning to check in with, with me. I'm happy. So I feel like my second graders are doing an amazing job. Learning technology is just crazy, and I feel like they're doing their best to continue growing. They're reading and math and writing. They're eager to learn despite the circumstances. And it has affected me also personally because I haven't seen one of my daughters for almost a year, and that kind of brings me down a bit. But I have hope that eventually things will change, and I'll be able to hug her again. And just worry about my mom, who's in her 80s. There's all these other things going on in my life. And I love to travel, so it's been particularly hard on me not be able to just take off and just go, explore, discover new places. So this right now, this is a little bit of what I'm doing right now to fill that need. And I'm taking it a day at a time, a week at a time, and I feel like each day that passes, it's a day that I'm closer to that goal of, okay, there will be a vaccine and things will go back to normal. Normal. Don't know what that would look like. But yeah, it's been definitely a hard year. But I'm keeping, my hopes up and trying to be positive for my students. First of all, they teach me to look at things from a different perspective, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm glad I'm here now. It's a great, beautiful day.
Yeah, what do you think of Ashland?
Ashland is beautiful. I love Oregon. I don't know. I love.
My first time in Oregon, and I love it. I love it. I just love it. My first time here. I am just, wow. I want to move here. I really like it. I really enjoy to be here.
The outdoors are great. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
So we are.
She travels a lot. I don't travel so much, but my first time in Oregon, and Ashley is beautiful.
And it's your first time in Oregon as well?
Oh no, I've been here like maybe 4 times. Actually, I didn't realize from home it's like 5 hours away. I should come more often. But this time is all about the waterfalls.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for going north from here.
Which waterfalls are you going to check out?
Oh my God. Tokiti and Watson and Limolo and there's Salt Creek Falls. There's so many, I'm going to have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Go with the flow. It's just like how it's going to be. And somehow I have some good craft beer and wine and good food, and just enjoy with my friend.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And you, what's your favorite part of Oregon so far?
For now, I just came to Ashley, my first time here, so I don't know very much, but I look forward to look at the waterfall, the wineries we're gonna try, and the beer, and goes with the flow. Just enjoy the day by day. Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
Cool. Well, you guys have a good day.
Yeah,
You too.
you
Take
guys
care.
have, live in a beautiful state.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good trip.
Thank you.
So just introduce yourself.
My name is Gamses.
And what brings you to Lithia Park today?
I try to visit Lithia Park in the morning time as part of self-care and ritual. And yeah,
You're local here to Ashland?
as of August. So, new.
And what do you do here in Ashland?
I work at a local hotel downtown, and I'm a night manager, so yeah.
Very cool. So what do you think of this year so far? We're in fall time now. The colors are starting to change. It's been kind of a challenging one for most people in one way or another. Kind of share some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think I would want to use one word, roller coaster. And I think everybody has a personal experience with maybe roller coasters, being afraid or being like super excited. Yeah, I like roller coasters, and this has been an intense roller coaster.
So you almost kind of enjoy some of the craziness of it. It's like exciting to you?
It brings a lot of growth, yeah. It brings a lot of valuable experience, so absolutely.
In what ways would you say you've grown in 2020?
In a lot of ways, but I say in the ways that are worth mentioning, I've been a lot more receptive to meeting new people, like building new friendships and relationships with people. Whereas I've struggled with that in times past. So being more open with my heart and my availability for people.
So it's almost kind of the lockdown and being forced away from people almost kind of opened you up more to the experience of meeting new people?
Not that at all. That's kind of separate. That maybe so. Maybe connected now that you ask. Yeah, inspired the realization for the need for human connection, being absent of it. But I wasn't so starved for human connection with the lockdown. I was actually with my grandparents when it started, so offered opportunity to connect with them deeper. So I appreciated that. The lockdown wasn't bad for me.
Right on. And so what are your hopes for the remainder of 2020?
Ashland doesn't experience another fire, and the land doesn't experience another fire that's as severe as the one we just had.
Totally. What was your experience with the fire?
Oh, that was crazy. My first realization that there was something going on was walking down this main Siskiyou Boulevard and seeing it looked like what turned into I-5. Like I walked for a couple miles and it was just nobody moved for the whole, like almost the whole duration of my walk. I was like, okay, something's going on. And yeah, working in a hotel, we were just filled with refugees, essentially, people losing everything. And yeah, we still are hosting a couple folks in a situation who are just scrambling. It's like time has gone by, but they still, there's certainly no more housing, there's a lot less housing, so people are still struggling. It was crazy. I kind of had this sense of like a thrill almost. It was bizarre to feel that like this chaos is kind of energizing. Yeah, it was strange to witness that.
Certainly puts you on your toes a little bit.
Yeah. I was told that the wind that day was blowing north, and normally it blows south. I was like, whoa, like this. Welcome to your new home, Gams. This shit's real here. Nature's real. There's like a silver lining of opportunity for people to support one another. I think times of crisis reveal the best parts of the human being, and so I think it's an opportunity for a lot of people to support friends, family, and community. Yeah.
Well, folks, those are some really nice conversations. Doing this job is really some of the best socialization the pandemic era has to offer. In any case, folks, I've been Keegan Van Hook. This is Us As We Are, and we'll see you in the next one.